Now, here is something very fascinating for every Kenyan to take in. Now, so far we have had 4 presidents, yes, since the independence of Kenya. Jomo Kenyatta, followed by Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, Mwai Kibaki, and now Uhuru Kenyatta. But the interesting, super fascinating thing is that if you put all the presidents together, no other president has had so many intrusions into State House than our current president, President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, the latest intrusion, by a 5th-year JKU art student, student of mechanical engineering, Bwana Brand Kibet Bera, is the 5th. Kibet climbed over the fence, in an area close to Gate B, for those who know the geography of State House, and actually accessed the State House compound. And he was heading towards the main buildings when he was finally seen by one of the officers, patrolling the grounds. Now, we'll come back to a minute. Let's go back at the other 5 intrusions. Now, notice that these 5 intrusions into State House, during the tenancy or the presidency of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, started in 2013, and now we're in 2019. And between 2013 and 2017, there were 4 incidences where people actually accessed State House. And so the question must be, will there be another 4 during President Uhuru Kenyatta's 2nd term? Yes, because the law of probability in mathematics, indicates that since there were 4 in the 1st term, we should maybe expect 4 in his 2nd term, or maybe 3. That's way too many. Now, out of these 4, we're not given much details about the first 2, so let's focus on the last 2. In 2016, Bwana William Ng'ene, huyu jamani pilot wa mkokoteni. He's a mkokoteni rider. In other words, he earns a living by pushing around a handcart. If you know what that is. A big cart, like the one a donkey would draw, or a horse. But this time it's pushed by a person, a human being. Now, Bwana Ng'ene caused laughter in a court, when he told the judge, because he was actually charged in a court of law. He told the judge that actually it was all about curiosity, because he always saw State House in the media. He heard so much about State House, but he had never been there. And chances were, this is my view, that the way his life was going, chances of ever stepping inside State House were nil. And therefore he decided to take matters into his own hands, and invite himself through the fence to State House. Some Kenyans. And William was very lucky, because in April 2017, an intruder into State House Nairobi was shot dead. And my information is that his body was never claimed by any relatives for burial. Of course, the question lingers, why didn't his relatives claim his body? Was it fear? Because definitely this man didn't fall from the sky. He was born somewhere. He had relatives, he had friends, people who knew him. Anyway, this may sound rather harsh, but maybe let me bring you up to speed about some certain security protocols. Now, there's some things, if you value your life, you should never ever try to do. One of them is to try and step forward on the road, to stop a presidential motorcade. Maybe you have a certain problem and you want audience with the president, and you see no other way, so you decide to stop him on the road, by stepping in front of his motorcade. Never ever. Why? Because the security protocol the world over is very simple and it's clear. Because when you really think about it, there's no way you can know what the intentions of this person is, who steps in front of the presidential motorcade in an attempt to stop it. The procedure in such instances, and all security personnel know this, is to clear the road. By all means, clear the road immediately. And of course, the fastest, most efficient way of clearing the road is to shoot you dead, and remove you from the road. As horrifying as that may sound, yeah, it's not personal. Indeed, those people don't know you. Yeah, in fact, that's the whole issue. Or rather, part of the issue. They don't know what your intentions are. Yeah, maybe you want to assassinate the president. Maybe the idea is to stop, yeah, the motorcade, and then somebody somewhere shoots. Yeah, so they have to strictly adhere to the recommended procedure, yeah, which is born out of long experience, yeah, and is created by experts who know much more about security than you and I. The second thing you don't want to ever try is to gain access into State House by climbing over the fence. Again, the procedure for dealing with this, yeah, is born out of the assumption that you want to cause harm, yeah, to the occupant of State House. You are a threat, yeah, this is an act of aggression, yeah, and therefore being shot dead is not a big deal. So let's come to the incident yesterday, yeah, Monday. It happened yesterday on Monday at about 4:30. Bwana Brian Kibet is extremely lucky to be alive. Yeah, he was shot all right, but he was shot in the shoulder. Yeah, and he survived. In fact, security personnel were able to interrogate him, yeah, before he was rushed off to hospital. Now, what is more fascinating, yeah, is that the Bwana Kibet had actually, yeah, made his intentions very clear on social media. Apparently, he hails from Mount Elgon, yeah, and there are issues there concerning the ancestral land, which is now occupied by people from other areas of Kenya. Now, of course, the big question on the minds of most Kenyans is what is happening? Where are these crackpots coming from? Or perhaps, is it a sign of the times? Personally, I found the reactions of Kenyans on social media to this incident very interesting. It seems that what Bwana Kibet, yeah, did, yeah, and a few of the others before him, is a sign of desperation. Yeah, it's a deadly symptom of what is happening in the Kenyan society. Kenyans seem to be desperate. Kenyans seem to have despaired, yeah, where the political leaders are concerned. If I was in government today, I would pay very careful and close attention, not to Bwana Kibet, but to the symptoms, yeah, portrayed by Bwana Kibet, or rather clearly displayed in his actions. Yeah, because he chose the right gate. He carefully chose where to climb. How do I know this? Because most of the areas surrounding State House, most of the fence, you would never even be successful in climbing over the fence. So the fact that he managed to climb over the fence means that he must have done some research and carefully chose his spot. Yeah. When you think about it, this is very disturbing, because these are not the actions of a madman. Yeah, these are not the actions of somebody who's insane. This is a person who still has the capabilities of thinking and calculating. So the question is, what pushed him into doing it? Yeah, and the fact that there have been 4 other incidences before his should be very worrying. What are Kenyans thinking? Yeah, since 2013, what are Kenyans really thinking? That is cause for concern for any government in power. And to make matters worse, we all know that Kenyans are under a lot of financial strain. Yeah, the economy is doing very poorly. And we also know that things are going to get worse before they get better. You know, it is very simple human psychology. Yeah, have you ever tried to reason with somebody who's hungry? It's impossible. And I have to say, I know many on this channel will not like this, I have to say, despite whatever anybody wants to say about former President Moi, one thing he was very good at, one thing he was very careful about, was to make sure that the Kenyan population is not pushed to desperation. Yeah, whenever there was hunger in a place, he would ensure that everything in government would stop for food to be supplied to the affected area. Things, of course, ultimately went wrong. Yeah, but it was not Moi's fault. Yeah, major Western powers withdrew aid to Kenya. Yeah, and it had an impact and forced Kenyans into the desperation that Moi feared. But my point is, Moi was very sensitive, very wary about having citizens around him who have despaired. Unfortunately, one cannot say the same about the presidents who came in after Moi. Let me just leave it at that. Now, something else I want to draw your attention to, in all fairness. The late President Jomo Kenyatta never spent a night inside State House. Never ever. He used to retire to his home in Gatundu whenever he was in Nairobi. President Moi also never used to spend the night in State House. He used to retire to his home in Kabarnet Gardens, off Gong Road. President Mwai Kibaki was the first Kenyan president, to live inside State House. Kibaki has had a home in Nairobi for many years. It's in Muthaiga. He moved away completely from that place and used to spend his time, sleep in State House Nairobi. President Uhuru Kenyatta's case is a little different, because actually he's a neighbor to State House. His home is in the Caledonia area, which is adjacent to the State House fence on the other side. So it becomes a little tricky, if you know what I mean. Do you create a gate, which leads up to your house from State House? That would be a security breach. So better just live inside State House, because you're still in the same vicinity, or something like that. At least that's my thinking. The long and short of it, State House is not the White House, in the United States, because it was never built with the president in mind. Yes, it was the residence of the governor of Kenya, the representative of the Queen, when Kenya was a colony of the United Kingdom. But believe it or not, it also once housed a school. Oh yes, there's a school called the Duke of York, which had its start on the grounds of State House. Of course, the Duke of York is today called Lenana School. It is very ironical the way Kenyans do everything in their power to be occupants of that building. They really fight for the presidency. But what they're really fighting for is to live in a very old house. So old and inappropriate that former President Mwai Kibaki saw the need to put up a new building within the grounds of State House. And that idea went very far. Plans were even drawn. However, Kenyans just said no. We have too many other problems, to start giving priority to the comfort of the president's residency. After all, State House should be adequate for now, until Kenya is more developed, I guess. Until more Kenyans have been lifted out of poverty. Very fascinating stuff. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.